You think stopping time would make you unstoppable. But the terrifying truth is, you probably wouldn't survive the first second, because time isn't just clocks. It's every process keeping reality alive. So let's see what disappears first. You think stopping time would feel peaceful, silent, frozen, like the world paused and you could finally breathe. No aging, no movement, no consequences. But that's because movies lied to you. Because if time actually stopped, even for 1 second, you would never see it happen. You would already be gone. And not just you. Everything would be. Because time isn't something happening inside the universe. Time is part of the structure that allows the universe to evolve at all. And the moment you truly understand what stopping time really means, reality itself starts feeling unstable. Okay, first, we need to destroy the version of stop time your brain learned from movies. You've seen scenes like this 1,000 times. Someone freezes time. Rain hangs motionless in the air. People become statues. Cars stop mid-motion. Meanwhile, the main character casually walks around touching things. Looks cool. Scientifically impossible. Because the second time fully stopped, light would stop propagating. And if light stopped moving, you would see nothing. Not darkness. Darkness is still something your brain processes over time. You simply would not experience visual information at all. Vision only works because photons, tiny packets of light, travel into your eyes. No moving photons, no sight. The universe instantly becomes observationally inaccessible. But that's only the beginning. Because sound would disappear too. Sound is vibration. Air molecules colliding with each other. If time stopped, molecules could no longer move. No motion means no vibration. No vibration means no sound. The universe wouldn't become silent. Silence still requires time passing. It would become nothing. No sight, no sound, no movement, no thought, because your brain itself runs on electrical activity. Neurons firing, chemical reactions, ions moving through microscopic channels. If time stopped, those processes would stop too. Your thoughts would freeze before you could realize anything happened, which leads to a disturbing realization. If time truly stopped, there would be no observer left to witness it. And this is where things start breaking human intuition. Because your brain secretly imagines time as just a clock, something external, something the universe exists inside of. But modern physics says something much stranger. Time is woven directly into reality itself. Albert Einstein completely shattered our old understanding of this. Before Einstein, many scientists imagined time as universal, a giant cosmic clock ticking identically everywhere. But according to relativity, time is flexible, stretchable, distortable. It changes depending on speed and gravity. And yes, this has been experimentally confirmed repeatedly. Astronauts age very slightly slower than people on Earth because of relativistic effects. GPS satellites literally correct for relativistic time differences constantly. Otherwise, navigation errors would accumulate by kilometers every day. That means time is not merely psychological. It behaves like a physical property of reality. A dimension. Modern physics combines them into one structure, space-time. And this changes everything. Because stopping time wouldn't just stop clocks, it would break causality itself. Cause and effect would collapse. The universe could no longer transition from one state to another. Reality would become trapped in a single, frozen configuration forever. But wait, here's where things become genuinely terrifying. You might think, okay, but what if only time stopped for everyone else? That's the fantasy most people imagine. You keep moving while the universe freezes. Except that still kills you almost immediately, because the air around you would effectively behave like an immovable barrier. Air feels soft because molecules constantly move out of your way. If surrounding molecules completely stopped moving, they can no longer redistribute normally around your body. Breathing would also fail. No moving oxygen molecules means no oxygen diffusion into your lungs. But honestly, you likely wouldn't even get that far. because the moment you tried moving, the physical interactions become catastrophic. Here's why. Temperature is fundamentally related to molecular motion. Hotter matter equals faster moving particles. If surrounding particles stopped moving entirely, their temperature would approach absolute zero. Temperature is equal to 0 Kelvin, is equal to minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. That's minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, the coldest theoretically possible temperature. Colder than deep space. Colder than anything naturally survivable. Your body, still moving through this frozen environment, would experience violent physical interactions, and friction becomes horrifying. Normally, air molecules move away when you push through them. Frozen particles cannot respond normally. Every movement becomes more like colliding with microscopic barriers. Movies portray stop time like magic. Physics portrays it more like total systemic breakdown. Now here's the part almost nobody realizes. Even if time stopped, gravity creates another enormous problem. According to general relativity, gravity isn't really a force pulling objects together. Mass bends space-time itself. Planets orbit stars because they move through curved space-time geometry. But if time freezes, what happens to space-time curvature? Does gravity freeze too? Does Earth stop orbiting the Sun? Does orbital motion even remain meaningful? Nobody actually knows, because our current physics breaks down under conditions like these. And that's what makes this unsettling. Stopping time may not simply be impossible. It may be physically meaningless, like asking, what happens north of the North Pole? The question itself may not work. Now let's go even deeper, because there's another hidden problem: light speed. According to modern physics, the speed of light in vacuum is the maximum speed information can travel. Nothing with mass can reach it. But photons, particles of light, always travel at light speed, which creates a bizarre consequence. From the perspective of relativity, a photon experiences no passage of proper time between emission and absorption. Sunlight takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth from our perspective. But along the photon's path, no experienced elapsed time. That means light already exists in a state strangely close to timelessness. And this completely melts people's brains, because it suggests our normal experience of time is deeply tied to motion through space-time. Not some universal cosmic clock, but now we hit the darkest implication of all. Your consciousness itself may only exist because time flows forward. Memory requires change. Thought requires sequence. Identity requires continuous transformation. The you reading this sentence is not exactly the same physical configuration that started this video. Your atoms changed. Your neurons changed. Your brain state evolved. You are a process, not a static object, and processes require time. So if time stopped permanently, you wouldn't be trapped in darkness forever. There would be no forever. Forever requires time too. You would simply cease. Not die, not sleep, not fade, just nothing. And yet, here's the truly strange part. Time does behave differently depending on gravity and motion. Near a black hole, time slows dramatically relative to distant observers. The film Interstellar dramatized this idea. 1 hour near the black hole corresponds to years farther away. The movie exaggerated certain details for storytelling, but the underlying physics of gravitational time dilation is real. Extreme gravity genuinely slows the passage of time relative to weaker gravitational regions, which means the universe already contains places where time stretches almost to breaking, near the event horizon of a black hole. Outside observers would see infalling objects appear to slow enormously, not fully stop, but slow enough to radically distort perception and causality. And suddenly, stopping time no longer feels purely fictional, just catastrophically unreachable. But there's one final twist. And this is the part that really changes how you see reality. You never consciously experience the exact present moment. Seriously. Your brain takes roughly tens to hundreds of milliseconds to process sensory input. That means your conscious awareness is always slightly delayed. You are perpetually experiencing a processed version of the immediate past. Even stranger, When you look at distant stars, you are literally seeing history. Some visible stars may already have died. Their light is only arriving now. The farther into space you look, the farther back in time you see. Astronomy is observational time travel, and images from the James Webb Space Telescope show galaxies whose light began traveling toward us billions of years before Earth existed. You are watching ancient cosmic history unfold in real time, which means time is not just something you move through. Time is embedded directly into how reality reveals itself to you. So what would really happen if time stopped? No frozen rain, no walking around statues, no peaceful silence, no dramatic movie scene. Because the instant time truly stopped, light would stop, atoms would stop, thought would stop. Reality itself would stop evolving. The universe would not become frozen. The concept of happening would disappear entirely. And maybe the strangest realization of all is that time isn't your enemy. Time is the reason anything can exist in the first place. Every heartbeat, every memory, every sunrise, every laugh, every person you love exists only because the universe allows moments to continue unfolding. Time is not stealing your life. Time is creating it. And one day, it will create the final moment too, which might sound terrifying until you realize something beautiful. The fact that moments end is exactly what makes them matter. So tonight, while clocks keep ticking, while Earth keeps spinning, while your tiny corner of space-time keeps moving through the cosmos, pay attention to it. Because the flow of time is not ordinary. It is one of the strangest features reality has ever produced. And you are inside it right now. If this changed the way you think about reality, share it with someone before tomorrow's upload. And subscribe because next time, we're breaking something even bigger.